Sorry guys for the interruption. Actually, the device was stopped automatically, so I am again starting the lecture by the semiconductors. Vishal, can you please latch the gate? Gate बंद कर दीजिएगा. So, the basic thing, what is the semiconductors? So the answer is that semiconductors are those material whose conductivity lies between the conductors and the insulators. Okay, so the semiconductors are also having the energy diagram, that is called the valence band and the conduction band, and this is the electron at the valence shell. Now the thing arises, how many materials are exhibit the property of the semiconductors? So the answer is that the crystalline materials whose valence electrons are in 4 number, it's called the semiconductors. अगर मैं periodic table की बात करूँ, so fourth group element is called the semiconducting material, that such as the carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, Pb and lead. हम सारे को डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे. So only these two materials, silicon and germanium, reflects the property of the semiconductors. Why? Because these materials is known as the crystalline materials. अभी क्या होते हैं crystalline materials? So the answer is that the crystalline materials are those materials where the every molecules is tightly bound with the other molecules, and there is no free charge carriers. As we all know, the electrons and holes and the ions are the charge carriers. So if there is no probability of the occurrence of the free electrons in the any materials, so these make the mutual bonding between two molecules via the covalent bond. So such materials make the crystal lattice. So these materials, silicon and germanium, is called the crystalline materials or semiconductor materials. One of electrons absorb the energy at the valence band. It moves from valence to the conduction band, and this energy may be in the form of the following forms. The first one is the current, second one is the voltage, third one is the light, and fourth one is the temperature. Is my handwriting visible? Sorry, my handwriting is not so good. So these are the current, voltage, light and the temperature. किसी भी फॉर्म में अगर एनर्जी है और इलेक्ट्रॉन उस एनर्जी के किसी पार्ट को एब्जॉर्ब कर रहा है, सो इलेक्ट्रॉन की टेंडेंसी होती है कि वो वैलेंस बैंड से कंडक्शन बैंड की तरफ क्या कर जाएगा, मूव कर जाएगा. Now the thing is cleared. Now we have the three materials, conductors, insulators and the semiconductors. I am again repeating the whole lecture. Conductors are those materials whose the conductivity is the super high, where the electrons can easily move from the valence band to the conduction band after absorbing the part of the energy. And these materials are the metals, such as the copper, iron, gold and the silver. And the insulators are those materials whose the conductivity lies, or can say it exhibit the highly resistance power. The band gap energy between the valence band and the conduction band of the insulators are the very high. हम कितना भी उन्हें चार्ज कर दें, उन्हें एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी दे दें, वो वैलेंस बैंड से कंडक्शन बैंड की तरफ मूव नहीं कर पाएंगे. And these materials are the paper, wood, plastic, and rubber, and the glass. And between these two states, conduction and the insulation, there is another state that is called the semiconductor, whose the conductivity lies between the conductor and the insulator. Partially they can charge the current, partially they stop the current, passing the current. And these two materials are the silicon and the germanium. Now, I'm going with the illustration of the semiconductor of the silicon. Suppose, as we know, silicon is the fourth group element where the 4 electron is available at the valence band. These are the 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3 and 4. If I am having another atom of the silicon, 1, it also have the 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Another molecule, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, for the complete bonding, these electrons will mutually shared by the another atom. Just like these electron 1, 2, 3 and 4 is mutually shared by the another molecule of the same atom. And such bonding of the mutual sharing, it's called a covalent bond. Covalent bond is a tightly bonding between the two atoms where the electrons are mutually shared by each other. So can say this the probability of the occurrence of free electrons in the perfect crystal is 0. If there is no free electrons, it means the resistance power is very high. The resistivity is very higher. Now, if I wish to pass the current among these semiconductor, this crystal structure, so I require to have a free electron. मुझे एक फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी अगर मैं इसमें से करंट को पास करना चाहता हूं तो. So what I'll do? So I will add some impurity atom to these pure crystals. So can I say now I am classifying the types of the semiconductors. The first one is the intrinsic type semiconductors, and the second one is called the extrinsic type. Intrinsic is the purest form of the semiconductor where the occurrence or the probability of the free electron is 0. Or this is called the perfect crystals. In the extrinsic type, we adopt some impurity 1 per 10 divided by 8. This is the ratio. In the extrinsic type, again I am repeating, in the intrinsic type, it is the purest form of the semiconductor where the availability of the free electron is 0. But in the extrinsic type, to make it semiconductor, we adopt some impurity atom to the purest form. And the impurity atom may be the pentavalent, trivalent and pentavalent. अभी क्या होते हैं पेंटावेलेंट impurities, trivalent impurities? So answer is that suppose this is the purest form of the crystal or the lattice structure. If I am adding some molecules of the trivalent element, अगर मैं इस स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर कुछ ट्राइवेलेंट एलिमेंट को ऐड कर दूं, ट्राइवेलेंट मतलब जिसके वैलेंस बैंड के अंदर 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे, 1 2 and 3, 1 2 and 3, 1 2 and 3. So these are my 3 element, electron 1 2 and 3. Now if I'm having a silicon atom whose the valence band electrons are the 4, 1 2 3 and 4. Now these 3 electrons is tightly bond with the silicon, another silicon atom, but this silicon electron is not bond with any atom. Okay, and say there is a free space of hole. यहाँ पे सारे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, बट यहाँ पे क्या है, एक फ्री स्पेस है. तो इस फ्री स्पेस में क्या होगा? इस फ्री स्पेस में ये होगा, whenever this crystal structure will feel some external energy in the form of the current, voltage, light or the heat, so this electron will absorb the part of the energy and it will move from the valence band to the conduction band. Okay, and say it will escape its original place. ये इसकी जो original native place है, इसको क्या कर देगा? ये छोड़ देगा ये. And as we all know, whenever electrons moves, it start to flow the current inside the body. So can say whenever the majority of the holes will increases, the majority of the holes is increases in the semiconductor, it makes the p type of the semiconductor. p type semiconductor क्या होता है? जिसके अंदर कुछ अमाउंट होल्स का होता है, जिसके अंदर इलेक्ट्रॉन एक प्लेस से दूसरी प्लेस की तरफ क्या कर सकते हैं? मूव कर सकते हैं. सो सच टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर इज कॉल्ड द पी टाइप सेमीकंडक्टर. बट व्हाट विद द पेंटावेलेंट इंप्यूरिटीज? अगर हम पेंटावेलेंट इंप्यूरिटीज को इसमें डॉप्ड कर दें, क्या होगा? सपोज अब यहां पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूं? पेंटावेलेंट इंप्यूरिटीज को डॉप्ड कर रहा हूं, मैं डॉपिंग कर रहा हूं. मैं पेंटावेलेंट मतलब कि उसके वैलेंस बैंड के अंदर कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होंगे? 5, 1 2 3 and 4 and 5. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. ये जो 4 मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं एटम्स के, ये तो एक दूसरे से टाइटली बॉन्ड हो गए, बट एक फिर भी इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या हो गया? यहाँ पे बच गया है. So now this is called the free electron, and again the concept is going on. Whenever electrons gets free, it tries to move from one place to another after getting some energy in the absorption process, and this energy may be in the form of the light, current, heat, voltage and the radio waves, can say. So such a structure where the numbers of free electrons is excessive in comparison of the holes is called the p N-type semiconductors. N-type semiconductors. तो P टाइप में क्या होंगे? होल्स होंगे, मैं होल्स को इस टाइप से रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूं, और N टाइप में क्या होंगे? इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. सो गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच. आज हम लोगों ने सेमीकंडक्टर्स के बारे में पढ़ा है, और वी स्टडी द extrinsic type semiconductor, intrinsic type semiconductors, P type semiconductors, N type semiconductors, or conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. In the next lecture, I'm going to cover the diodes. I will cover the p-n junction diode, light emitting diode, Zener diode, Schottky diode, varactor diode, photodiodes. In the photodiodes, I will cover the avalanche diode, PN diode, PIN diode, LED, and so on. So guys, thank you so much, and if you like my videos, please like my videos and subscribe my videos. Thank you so much, और हम मिलेंगे जल्दी in the second lecture about the diodes. Thank you.